Hunter saves it. Hunter Hughes is coming around. Here comes Colton Garner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Who's got more ponies? Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome back to the Daily Driven Podcast, guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
And after a week off at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Wednesday Night Dash works its way over to the biggest of Season 13. We welcome you to Talladega Superspeedway for the Talladega 106. 40 laps of absolute bumper-to-bumper action, and we're going to be with you every single step of the way. Jackson Lambros with you in the broadcast booth. Happy to have you with us for another week. After a break and some heavy reflection, after we won't beat around the bush, a chaotic evening at North Wilkesboro Speedway. But we can all that hope that there's been some reflection, and these gentlemen are ready to go for 40 laps. Let's break you down the track here as we work our way into the heart of Alabama. Track first opening in 1969, the biggest speedway that the NASCAR Cup Series visits every single year. 33 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. It goes a little bit less through 3 and 4. They've practiced for 40 minutes. They just had single car qualifying for 2 laps. And again, we will do it for 40, which should equate to about 45 minutes. Have the timer running at the drop of the green flag. And essentially what that means is just doing everything you can. Since it's a wide open track, not a lot of times you're really lifting off throttle or braking. So quite literally going to be an entire race of just foot to the floor. And that's going to mean monitoring and doing everything you can to just work your way to the front of the field. Using the draft, using the people around you to try and keep yourself within fighting distance and being in the right spot at the right time to give yourself an opportunity for victory in one of the jewel box tracks of stock car racing. Here's how they're going to line up, though, for round number 4. And we welcome Indy Racing World Series driver Matthew Faust, who unsurprisingly puts the thing on pole position. He's alongside Dawson Buchanan. And it'll be Jacob Barker and John Miles. Really great to see John Miles start to explode this season in terms of pace. He'll be in P4. DJ Fluck for FR Racing getting up into P5. Then Tyler Cheney with Connor Fuge and Hunter Hughes rounding out your 4th row. That's got a little bit of a ring to it, don't it? Robert Lewis and Chris Fuge rounding out your top 10. Then it's Eric Richardson, Tyler Lugo, Vickery, Wesley Fuge, Colton Gardner, Garrett Jarnigan, and Lane Snow. New livery for Lane. A lot of guys making new liveries. JP Jones and Colton Gardner in equivalent Appalachian Chillbilly liveries. JP in 17th, Nick Warboy in 18th, Jax Malin in 19th, Brian McKinney in 20th. Bill Molefield with no time will round out the field in your pack of 21. Happy to have you with us for round number 4 of Wednesday Night Dash. Starting to reach the halfway point, starting to get to crunch time here. And Talladega, one of those tracks that seemingly You can fight as much as you want, but this is a place that chooses who's fast and chooses its winners. And Matthew Faust, the newcomer for Wednesday Night Dash, has a phenomenal opportunity for the second time to have a rookie come out on top. Could that be the case here in Talladega? Let's find out. And let's go racing in the Southern Temple of Speed. A little bit of a wiggle further back. That's John Miles in that second row on the outside, the 54. Maybe got a little bit too much over the bumper there of, I think that's Dawson Buchanan out in front. Look at the serpentine on that outside lane. Inside looking to be good so far. 89 of Faust leading Parker, and another new livery. That would be the 88 of DJ Fluck. And for the first time in 3 weeks, we're going to have a full lap of green flag racing to get us started. A lot of new pairs of liveries. We mentioned that earlier. Connor Fuge, and I believe the 54 of, the 14 of Robert Lewis syncing up as well, running the Red Bull liveries. Liking the chrome on the bolts there. Very nice. So again, early phases of the race. You're not necessarily fighting to have the lead of the race. Of course, the minute I say that, Buchanan, oh, DJ Fluck around, Robert Lewis gets collected. Oh my goodness. Not quite the big one, but it was fast and it was violent. Holy mackerel. And first blood goes to DJ Fluck. As, let's see here. Oh, I think he got a little bit, yep, got sideswiped by Robert Lewis. Just a little bit too much contact there. And the 19 getting almost immediate carnage there. Or karma, shall we say. And both those two gentlemen getting a trip back to pit lane. So first caution of the day, and Dawson Buchanan going to go to the lead of this thing in our first true lead change there. Just getting to the end of lap number 3. And he was waiting for the split second there, the spotter said, clear. He knew that inside line was the way to go. And finds himself in the lead of this race. Will be on the inside of row number 1, but still genuinely anyone's race at this point. If you are within drafting distance, you've got a shot of walking away and potentially being our 5th race winner of the year. Or excuse me, 4th. We haven't had 5 races, but trip number 7 to Talladega Superspeedway for Wednesday Night Dash. Eric Richardson with 2 wins, then Hunter Hughes, John Miles, Dawson Buchanan, and Eric Blum, all with an individual win to their name. Richardson, Gardner, and DJ Fluck all having 6 starts here in the past. Bolton Gardner, Dawson, Eric, Tyler Lugo, Vickery, Caden McCreevy Jr., all former pole sitters, but Eric Richardson actually most laps led at 31. That could very much change. With Matthew Faust, multi-time Indy Racing World Series champion at the sharp end of the field. Saw him earlier on this year as well, competing in the Save the Freedom 100 with some big names, Tony Stewart, David Land, Kyle Cuthbertson. Going to be very interesting to see how he fares. It's been so far so good in pole and running in P2 for the time being. But a lot of these guys still having a big time opportunity to move forward and reshuffle, and that could go very much if you're out in front. There's no such thing as a single position being lost on a super speedway like this. The minute you get out of line, it's going to be very, very hard to find that hole to potentially open up again and just simply slot back in. You get moved out of the way, there's a good chance you're going all the way to the back of the queue. You got to fight your way tooth and nail to get up to the front. No time for Bill Molefield. He did reconnect, by the way. And the 911 back in the mix as well. Strange to see Jack Smalin this deep in the field, but there he is in the 9, just going through looking at some of the new schemes. Joining us for week number 4, Nick Warboy running the Dale Jr. Bud Light tribute. DJ Fluck, I was trying to figure out what that actually was. That's also a good-looking race car. That would be the Garage Talk livery for DJ Fluck. Tyler Lugo Vickery is always in the Pepsi Max car. This is the one that's going to be confusing. Chris Fuge taking one out of the playbook of JP Jones and stealing a sponsor, stealing a scheme. Colton Gardner doing the same, so the entire BR team looking to, or excuse me, BS squad looking to copy JP Jones here. There you go, look at that. Makes it a little bit difficult for the guy in the announcer booth, but we'll make it work. Already some trouble here, it looks like, for Wesley Fuge. That Dayquil machine got a little bit of pug face syndrome, it would look like. But there's Robert Lewis, and I believe it was actually Connor Fuge who had damage early on to get us started. There he is. So some more collaboration with the 89 and the 19. With AMA, Tyler Cheney not getting the memo, though. Sticking with the Dayquil and NyQuil for both himself and Wesley Fuge. Split squad sponsors. And, of course, another one for John Miles as well. A winter livery for his longtime partner, Dr. Squatch. John Miles still coming in as a potential favorite, a former champion, a race winner so far this year, excuse me, a podium sitter so far this year. Hunter Hughes winning the opening round. Uh-oh. There we go. Hunter Hughes winning the opening round in Chicagoland. Then Tyler Cheney getting his first victory at Nashville. Dawson Buchanan at Charlotte. And then Chad Winstead starting at the front, staying at the front. Not see Chad Winstead actually in the mix tonight. It's a strange sight, but hopefully we'll see him back soon. But again, in that we've got Matthew Faust out in front. And we will see what we can do. Lap number 5. And we are ready to go back racing. Another new livery as well for Jacob Barker, the W12 machine now. Slotted back a couple positions as well. Look at the teamwork. Everybody going bumper to bumper on the top lane, trying to make that work. Cheney to the rear bumper of Faust. Robert Lewis right there as well. And the two BS machines in the fray. All three of them, look at that. The black and green brigade on scene in the high side. Very cool. Trying to get a jump start on this high line early on. No changes. Looks like Cheney potentially thought about making a move a little bit further back. Not able to slot in to Buchanan, though. And behind the cockpit, name of the game here this entire week is just minuscule inputs. Scrub the tires as little as possible, carry as much speed as possible, Because when air's moving over the bumper at speeds north of 200 miles an hour, the last thing you want is quick movements. That will upset the car very quickly. Faust on the high line, able to actually make that move work on Buchanan. And we'll go back to the lead. Buchanan seemingly trying to find a way through, but not able to go through the yellow line. Big shimmy at the top there. I thought potentially that could have been more trouble for Robert Lewis. But again, so long as you're in the top 10 at this point in the race, you are very much in the picture for a win. Because once we get into the final 10 laps, even the final 5 laps, outer keg's going to start smoking, and guys are going to get way more jumpy to move around. Don't want to call it early, but our chances of a green-white checkered very much high tonight, as guys are going to get really eager. Robert Lewis opening the door further back for the BS crew. Meanwhile, Tyler Cheney giving a big push to his teammate Hunter Hughes. Both of them trying to make that outside lane still get a little bit extra momentum. Only able to clear third in line right now on the inside at the 54 of John Miles. Oh, big shimmy a little bit further back. I believe that might have been Eric Richardson. No, 68 of Wesley Fuge. Thought about to move to the outside, bang doors with the 49. And now that could very much hurt. Look at this, Jacob Barker trying to get to the lead of the race. He wants it on the inside. And we'll get there, but all of a sudden, here comes Hunter Hughes. Is he gonna leave his teammate now? Not clear just yet, but the difficulties further back from Wesley killed all of the airspeed on the low line. And now up top, suddenly begins to have the favorable advantage. And now both of them are going to move down low. Look at this. AMA working together. Tyler Cheney, Hunter Hughes move them to the front. Barker wants to change tables now. He'll slot it into the outside right in front of Robert Lewis. Now Faust Buchanan and Miles still holding it down low. They're side by side though with all the BS. All the BS drivers, I should say. Another healthy shove there from Tyler Cheney. And all four. Look at this. All four cars together for BS on the top lane. That is phenomenal. Garrett Jarnigan leading all of them. Colton Gardner just behind. And a little bit further back, I believe, is JP Jones. No, Colton Gardner's gotten in front of him. You see a little bit further back there, Christopher Fuge as well. That is alongside Brian McKinney. Connor Fuge back in this thing, by the way, one lap down. With Lane Snow, unfortunately, throwing in the towel early, it looks like. 10 laps down, so retirement, I believe his third retirement already of the season. A little bit of a breakaway again down low as Matthew Faust is looking mighty confident getting on the bumper of the 7 here. Unlike the Xfinities that we ran last season, Cup Series regulations do allow these guys to interlock bumpers, not the brief kind of kissing of it like we saw. Oh, that's got to be scary if you're around Tyler Cheney right now. So again, these guys able to go full bumper to bumper. But we're only about half of the field size as a full Cup Series race, so real estate on track, not too much of an issue compared to other venues. Jacob Barker really hemorrhaging speed at the helm of this outside lane. Robert Lewis and the quartet of BS machines behind have done everything they can to try and put life into that outside lane, but it has been to no avail. Lewis offline. This puts everybody behind with commitment issues, and everybody has very quickly realized they've got to pick a side, pick a lane. Barker near all the way to the back of the line now, outside of the top 10. That's Jacob Barker, or excuse me, the 24. Tyler Lugo Vickery he's dropped back to. Only 2 lanes right now, but again, as we get towards the tail end of this race, we could absolutely get to the point where we're seeing 3, even 4 lanes open up. As we've seen here in the real world, we've seen it absolutely in the Coke Series. I think we've jammed it 5 wide at Daytona before in the Coke Series. This track a little bit flatter compared to where we'll be in real life for the NASCAR Cup Series this weekend. But again, you get an extra 1/10 of a mile and way more width. Pretty much an extra 50% of track width compared to Daytona. And a lot more backstretch to set up moves as well. Lap 15 out of 40. Hunter Hughes still out in front. That outside line starting to come to life once again, and after a big-time incident, that one's going to be led by the 19 of Connor Fuge. He is a lap down, but he is still trying to help his teammate, Robert Lewis, who is still out there as well. Look at this as well. Jax Malin joining the fray down low after pretty much being 20th on the restart, so he's managed this traffic phenomenally. And he's gotten himself in a pretty primo spot as well. A bit of a checkup for Matt Faust there. Looks like Tyler Vickery's moved up to the high line as well. Is this potentially where we start to see the shift? Hughes looking to be your first repeat winner of the season again from the opening at Chicagoland Speedway. The Team AMA has been absolutely phenomenal. Hunter Hughes and Tyler Cheney making it 1-2. Both of them battling for the win at Chicagoland. They did it again at Nashville, but the rookie in the 7 was able to win it. And both those guys for the past 2 weeks after that were just unfortunately snake bit at North Wilkesboro. But it is looking very good for them. Strong rookie running as well for Wesley Fuge. Just a little bit further back in the day, Quill Machine. See the white and orange on that outside lane now. Again, could just be one big break away from a podium or even a victory. As we're just getting to the halfway home point. That could be sooner than you think. We talked about guys moving forward, one moving back. John Miles now in P10. Still behind Dawson Buchanan. But again, a lot of those guys moving on down from the high lane has been what's caused this to really shuffle up and make things interesting for the remainder of this pack. Connor Fuge, your pseudo leader right now, but again, he's a lap down. What that's really doing, though, is giving Jacob Barker the tow to get to the lead. Look at this, and now everybody's going to slot down. Move Jacob Barker to the point. Just up the road, though, the Bud machine of Nick Warboy. Uh-oh. That could make things very interesting. Top lane almost completely disintegrated at this point. Eric Richardson. All the way back to, I believe, Buchanan. We're almost back to entirely being single file. Both Robert Lewis and Jacob Barker able to fully clear Jax Malin there. Nick Warboy not wanting to play any of the dramatics here. We'll just park it on the high line and let everybody mosey on through below him. Halfway home at Talladega, it's a new leader in the form of Jacob Barker, but on track that heel machine is actually Connor Fuge, one lap down, but is helping Robert Lewis just in that shotgun Charlie position. Then it's Hunter Hughes, Tyler Cheney, Matthew Faust, Jax Malin, Dawson Buchanan, John Miles, and Wesley Fuge rounding out your top 10. Was an attempt earlier, a little bit further back, of trying to open that second lane. Nobody has really been able to do it. And on top of that, Tyler Cheney has not really closed the door to the 14. Now finally gets that opportunity. Curious if that's just maybe doing a little bit of lift and coast here to try and save fuel. Not too much of a shocker that everybody's trying to make the lower line stick again. It truly is shortest distance, really trying to be what's working. What was that on the inside? Was that Matthew Faust on the inside there? It was both Jax Malin trying to go all the way up the inside there. Malin bails to the high line and tries to get a push. Buchanan's there as well. Malin, Miles, and Buchanan all having some commitment issues at the front of the field right now. That lane could still have some life in it. Look at this. AMA pair going to the top as well. They might shuffle up to the front as well. 50-50 down the back straightaway. How different of a story would this be as well if it wasn't for that 19 of Connor Fuge towing him up front? It's a big gamble for Tyler Cheney. And Hunter Hughes out in front. Could this potentially pay off? Not getting a lot of help from Jax Malin, though. Next to nothing in terms of pushing. Malin bailing early there, slots in, now goes up high once again. Faust going to try and fill in that gap with Tyler Cheney. A little bit of a squirm further back there from Buchanan. Now he goes back low, filling any hole that's open to him. And that is not helping the AMA pair up top. You can see both Malin and company just going wherever that momentum might potentially be. Not clear now. He can't go in behind Cheney. Cheney thought about going down low and is blocked in. Now Garrett Jarnigan, and I believe the 40 of Colton Gardner will meet him up high. 15 laps to go. Buchanan trying to open it up. Cheney going with him. Couple of guys trying to surmount that inside lane. But a full party still yet to be fully assembled. Tyler Cheney might be a key player in that, and the yellow flag out once again. Actually not sure why. Uh-oh, that might be our man. If you look further back, this might be an isolated incident. Quiet race so far for McKinney, but oh, got tapped there. Wesley Fuge, JP Jones. On his lid, Ricky Bobby style. And then bounces on it. Crazy style. So our second caution of the night comes at lap number 25, and Jacob Barker will be your leader over Robert Lewis, and his stablemate of Connor Fuge going to be able to get that in lap now. We'll cycle to the back of the field, but with that lucky dog, will actually be still in the picture. Join FR Racing's DJ Fluck and Eric Richardson for Garage Talk, where two idiots talk racing and stuff. New episodes dropping Friday mornings at FR Racing Online. Watch on YouTube, listen on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. This week, they break down the NASCAR Winter Classic, better known as the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. A very cold event at that. Dive into the overlooked logistics and planning concerns behind the Freedom 250. Dear God, yeah. And plenty more along the way. Yeah, that's absolutely going to be something that's going to be a hot commodity as we get into summer and around Independence Day. Very cool to see IndyCar going to the nation's capital for that one-off event, but definitely some universal questions on just how that's going to turn out. As long as iRacing is able to scan that track and I'm able to drive it in the sim, I'm going to be a happy boy. I'm not asking for a lot. I think it would just be very cool to see if we could have that also, not just for iRacing, but for the IndyCar game would be very, very neat to see. Because, again, not a lot of people going to be able to experience that. As the plan immediately has been set, that's going to be a single-year event, not much else. Speaking of Indy Racing and speaking of sim racing, Indy Racing World Series returning February 24th at Phoenix Raceway. And if you're not too fond of the road racing, a very oval heavy calendar as per usual to bring us into season 7. But still plenty of time for you to register. That's at visit frracingonline.com/IRWS. We still got time here. I'm trying to think of who we could potentially bring in for our pit boss in-race update. Connor Hughes and Tyler Cheney are always fun to talk to. I'm specifically liking Tyler Cheney, but it looks like they've filtered back a little bit. Was that for pit lane or not? Not think so. Well, we should get your race leader. I feel like that's only fitting. So let's grab Jacob Barker here for your pit boss in race update. Jacob, it's Jackson in the broadcast booth. Can you hear me? Quiet race for you out in front, but Obviously, a lot of guys behind you. How difficult has it been so far to hold off everybody? Yeah. I like it. You guys are stacking up, so I'll let you get to it. Best of luck. BRR's Jacob Barker, who again has been on the podium a handful of times, has been looking for his first win of the season. And this could very much be his big break. You could say the same as well for Robert Lewis, who joined us on the podium, I believe, for round number 2. This Blue Ridge squad, again, starting to come to life. Been very, very exciting. And even with Connor Fuge getting that early incident with DJ Fluck, he was a major team player for both of these guys, giving a big toe and even playing defense on the high line for a couple of guys as well. It could be potentially something for us to look out for, but always great talking to Jacob, and that'll be your pit boss in race update. Before we go back to green, still plenty of racing to come in stock cars as well. The bottom split racing series returning February 9th. Still plenty of time to get prorated into the series. People targeting people new to oval racing, or if you're just plain not good at it, which is why it's the perfect schedule for me. But you can register and learn more at frracingonline.com/BSRS. I'm honestly considering grabbing the ARCA car and doing it, just because, I mean, I very rarely even have time to do this, period. But I've done one oval race in dirt and spun and disconnected. That's my iRacing career to this point. Been a little bit better for your front row, Jacob Barker and Matthew Faust, one of the best in stock car racing versus one of the most renowned names in open wheel racing on this platform, taking us to the green. Do I see row number 3 potentially opening up? You bet. Look at that. Hunter Hughes, Tyler Cheney making us 3 abreast for the first time. Garrett Jarnigan trying to get in the party as well. You need big time commitment and a major car count to really make that work. Robert Lewis starting to lose that airspeed out in front. Another big wiggle there. Looked like Hughes almost got spun there by Cheney. Oh man, Garrett Jarnigan going on the high side. Hughes just barely able to clear him. Here comes Robert Lewis to the front. Tyler Vickery going with him. Not able to get there. All 4 members of the BS squadron trying to push to make that outside line work. Robert Lewis, Jacob Barker, Matthew Faust, and the number 4 of Dawson Buchanan, Jax Malin, on the low line. That's been the ideal spot to be in all night long. Could that pay off here at the buzzer? Look at this, big time energy. And now it's Tyler Cheney to the front. Lugo Vickery, Robert Lewis, still 3 wide. And a monster run from the 40. Colton Gardner and Team BS trying to make that work. Cheney with the nose ahead. Low line starting to lose energy. Cheney and Robert Lewis fading. Lewis starting to bail. I'll move Chris Fuge to the front. Nobody in the middle now. Tyler Vickery's got to find a new dance partner. 8 laps to go. Look at this! BS started this race at the back of the pack. They are first to fourth on track. What a story this could be for Colton Gardner in this entire program. Can they defend? So many behind, still eager to get results. But there might not be a harder working team in this field right now than BS. But AMA have the results, have the pace shown early. Hunter Hughes has led him to victory. Now he's trying to lead him to the high side. Fuge blocking and will go high as well. Trying to find his place. His teammates can't find the opening for him. Fuge gonna get washed in the middle. Hughes and now Wesley Fuge. Up the middle as well. This is the restrictor plate racing we've been waiting for. Still Jarnigan by a hair. Out in front, Tyler Cheney in the middle trying to find a hole. Jarnigan has plenty of help just behind. But the cracks starting to show. They've already lost one car. Is this going to be able to hold for 10 more miles? An entire blanket pretty much over this field. Matthew Faust with a horrendous restart, unfortunately, was leading a vast majority of this race and now drops down to P16. Hughes losing his teammate as well, Tyler Cheney. The meat in that sandwich. Now on a different lane, Hughes giving the block to Jarnigan. Still no third lane yet. 5 laps to go from Talladega. And Colton Gardner has found his companions once again. But will he be able to slot in? I'm not sure. Tyler Lugo Vickery, in theory, will be next in line to try and move to the front. That's if he's got enough. In terms of momentum, in terms of help in the top line, I don't know. Miles and Buchanan trying to make it 3 abreast as well, all the way up to the outside line. But still, you gotta think Tyler Cheney is in that prime position. Four laps to go. The quartet of BS reunited. And Cheney trying to push will take Tyler Lugo Vickery to the point. And the 24 Pepsi Max machine becomes our 6th race leader of the night with 5 laps to go. BS sees the opening. They'll go up high. They'll get help from Blue Ridge as well. Nick Warboy, Robert Lewis and company. And trouble behind. Wesley Fuge goes around. John Miles in it as well. And the caution is out. Taking a look at what happened here further back. And Buchanan, again, just getting into the back of the 68, the 54, Miles getting a piece of it as well. And a brutal day Sends him to the rear of the field once again. Lugo Vickery going to be your race leader, though, as we come back to what could be the green-white checkered. Lugo Vickery, a winner both in open wheelers and in stock cars last year. Almost swept the week at Gateway in the fall. But in his home race, virtually, the Florida native could win big in the 24, but Tyler Cheney has been hot already nearly this entire season. He's on the outside. He's got some big help in Hunter Hughes. He's going to be probably our last pit boss in race update of the night. Tyler, it's Jackson in the broadcast booth. You got me? I'm having the time of my life. Really, really good run for you so far tonight. I'll start with this. We talked about this at Nashville. How helpful has it been having guys with you in the form of Hunter Hughes? You've been pretty much one of the only guys who's really been able to make the outside work here. Obviously, you need a lot of help to really get the momentum there. But what can you share on just how difficult it is to go high here? We'll see what you got. Best of luck here, Ty. Tyler Cheney, your Nashville winner, going to try and make it win number 2 of this young season. But Tyler Lugo Vickery is hungry. Garrett Jarnigan behind is hungry. And again, you get the feeling that the power of friendship just behind for BS could be colossal. I toggled the wrong thing there. There we go. And another wrong one. Good job, Lambros. Where are my driver standings? Here we go. Here's your team standings. Or not. Trying to get that to work just one more time. Pull the ripcord here, see if that goes. Atta baby! Your team standings coming into this weekend. Again, Appalachian Mountain looking really, really strong at 147. But SMR just behind. But you really, really cannot count out SMR right now. Has looked incredibly strong. And with a P3 right now just next to JM Motorsports, you get the feeling that they could actually leave tonight as your new championship leaders. They're 2x2 coming out, but how quickly are they going to go single file? Added laps, so this is going to be a green-white checkered. We'll throw the green flag. And whatever one comes next after the white flag, whether that be yellow or white, that'll end it. Or yellow or checkered, I should say. That'll be all she wrote. Dawson Buchanan, by the way, is your championship leader, 139 over Tyler Cheney. And Buchanan might have some penalties coming his way after turning Wesley Fuge as well. Not where he wants to be. But for some guys a little bit further back in the mix, Chris Fuge in 4th, Garrett Jarnigan in 3rd, Jacob Barker in 5th. Big points all coming up. 21 drivers, but there can only be one winner. That answer for who it's going to be just a couple laps away. As for the final time, we go green from Talladega. Good start for the 49, Chris Fuge. Cheney gonna sever the head. JP Jones gonna try and get the party started up top. Look at this. Cheney blocking. A lot of faith in the high line here. Now Cheney going back low. He's trying to find any line that could potentially work. Chris Fuge in the wall. JP Jones almost going around. That's gonna be the yellow. Barker into the wall. And now we will actually get our green-white checkered. So looking like we're going to get one more attempt here at a restart. And breathe. And it's heartbreak, unfortunately, for Jacob Barker, who looked so strong all night long. But here's what happened. Further back, it was one of the SMR machines breaking that line. I'll try and get you guys a better camera picture here. DJ Fluck in the 80 that maybe did it? No, it's Jax Malin. Just gave a nudge there to the 32. And Jarnigan goes up, goes right into his teammate at Colton Gardner. Malin actually does keep going and fully lays out Barker, though. Wow, big time carnage here. And a lot of big contenders knocked out. Nick Warboy going to get his lap back. As a couple guys coming in and out of pits. I think this might actually be for fuel, finally. John Miles, Matthew Faust, Garrett Jarnigan, Bill Mulfield. Tyler Cheney on the outside. And Robert Lewis in P3 has found himself suddenly with a shot at winning this thing. Step aside for just a moment here and let them re-rack and restack. Do not go anywhere. The finish from Talladega coming up. After 45 now laps of racing, it has all come down to this. What we thought could maybe squeeze in regulation has been 5 minutes or 5 laps of overtime. And we'll get one more shot to race to the finish. Tyler Lugo Vickery on the inside and Tyler Cheney on the outside. Lewis and McKinney just behind. And for one final time, we're ready to go racing here in Talladega. Equal there, a little bit of a nudge there from McKinney. Has to gather it back up with the push from Hunter Hughes. But we are dead nuts even. That'll be all she wrote. Who's going to be ahead? Oh, this is going to be close. That might be it. DJ Flood goes around. And I think just Vickery is your leader. We are actually going to restart, I believe. We might have one more attempt, actually, at a green-white checkered. Looking a little bit further back at your restart here, and I think it was Jax Malin who got into him. There he is behind John Miles. And is it maybe just too much of a push? Fluck had to get off throttle. He knew he was going to hit Buchanan. And then unfortunately the 19 of Fuge goes around as well. Matt Faust gets into it. And for the 4th time tonight, we go under caution. One more shot. And again, all Tyler's on the front row. Tyler Lugo Vickery on the inside. Cheney on the outside. Still Robert Lewis and McKinney just behind. But it is anyone's game as we go back to green one more time. For real. Actually. At Talladega. Lewis trying to fill in that gap to Cheney. There's the shove that could be needed. Eric Richardson filling in for his teammate now just behind. Cheney got no help from his AMA teammates. Hughes and Fuge not able to close that gap. Can the 14 push his way to the front? Look at this, John Miles with a monster shove. That could do it as well. Oh, there it is. Tyler Lugo Vickery going around. Lewis around into the wall. I'm not sure who this is going to go to. I think Fuge was first when the yellow was thrown. Or excuse me, Lewis was. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Watch Cheney on the outside as well. Was Lewis just putting a bit too much mustard on the push there? Yeah, just a little bit to the outside. Cheney goes through with him. Then what happened to Brian McKinney, Robert Lewis, and everybody else? Huge through Robert Lewis goes into the wall. Robert Lewis rejoining. Actually made contact with both of the SMR machines. And I am quite genuinely not sure. Chris Fuge, your leader on track. McKinney told to go out of the way. And this might be it. As they stand in the run to the checkered flag, the quartet of SMRs trying to fight their way forward. And one indeed did come out on top. I believe Chris Fuge is your race winner in week number 4 here at Talladega. Or McKinney. I believe it is McKinney. Brian McKinney. The key to victory on the drafting tracks. Be silent, but be there when it matters. And when first and second got into it, it was indeed the guy in third who was your race winner. Absolutely incredible. Your final results then. After an added nearly 10 laps, Chris Fuge getting the win. Actually? Or no, because McKinney disconnected. I don't know who won this race, guys. I do not know who won this race. I'm going to say McKinney's your winner, then Chris Fuge, then JP Jones. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I think whoever's joining me in the Discord right now is going to try and answer that question for me as well. This is giving me more questions, I think. No, I've got Dawson in here, who is indeed third on track. But Eric Richardson, Garrett Jarnigan, John Miles, Brian McKinney, I'm now seeing listed down in 7th. Nick Warboy, Jacob Barker, then DJ Fluck rounding out your top 10. Again, he had that last crash just before. Then you look a little bit further back. Hunter Hughes, Matt Faust, Robert Lewis, Tyler Cheney, Wesley Fuge, his brother Connor, Bill Mulfield, And then Lugo Vickery, Colton Gardner, and Jax Malin all out with mechanicals. So believe it or not, Chris Fuge, your official race winner here at Talladega, and a 1-2 for SMR. That is unbelievable. We'll try and get your drivers very quickly here for podium interviews, but be back with you here in just a second. A couple of new faces who I've not talked to. Definitely a few who I haven't talked to in a minute for your podium here at Talladega. A familiar one, though, to get us started. Dawson Buchanan in the Ford Dr. Pepper machine. A roller coaster race for you, my friend, but able to just barely get it on the podium there. Talk to me about the closing stanzas there for you.
Or there would have been no way I got in the top three. So overall, just it was a solid run with what we had there for the JM boys and the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet.
Who do you want to thank here for this?
Yeah, shout out all the JM boys and you for calling these races and everybody that runs in here. It's a lot of fun. So
really solid running for you as always, and I believe you might be coming up now as our championship leader into round number 5. Congrats, Dawson.
Thank you.
Here's a guy who I definitely have not talked to on the podium, which if you have watched my streams, I have said numerous times JP's going to have that weekend at some point. But JP Jones, P2 for you. Just an absolutely insane closing handful of laps there. But talk to me about the work that you put in with your team here to make this position done.
Yeah, it was all team. We had a couple runs up toward the front, got bucked by the couple other drivers there one time on our first attempt at it, but we finally worked our way to the front. Just good run all night long. Good.
Great stuff, JP. Anyone you want to thank here for this podium?
Just shout out to Appalachian Shield teammates. You guys for putting the race on.
Long time coming, but JP Jones on the podium and his teammate Chris Fuge in the 49 getting victory. I'll start with this, Chris. Was this even a conversation that you thought maybe we would be having, even with 10 to go?
I'll be honest, no. So first of all, my radio button has been broken the entire race, so I've not been able to communicate with drivers. Luckily, I've been able to talk to my teammates through Discord, so that helped. But I could not communicate with anyone else on track because my button was broken. And then I don't understand what happened. I gridded up, and then for some reason it put me back on pit road. So I started the race from pit road. And that first caution came out, it was a lifesaver. And then with 10 to go, I had no idea. I mean, I didn't know how it was going to end. You know, my teammates and I, Colton, Garrett, JP, we drove through the field a few times, had a few awesome runs. I mean, practice makes perfect, and we practiced this a lot. And then coming down to it, I mean, I was close. I mean, I was close on fuel. I think I crossed the start finish line and did my burnout with like half a gallon. So that was it was intense. You know, just coming off of turn 4, Braden on my nose, and I was content to push Braden to the win. You know, Braden's a good friend of mine, and I got him into iRacing, so I was pretty happy. I was, you know what, if he gets a win before me, that's cool. I'll push him to it. But the smoke cleared. Next thing I know, it's me and JP, and this happened last or the first season of Bottom Split. You know, I got my first win there at Daytona with JP on my bumper, so that's pretty great. I'd say we work well in the super speedways together.
Last thing here, because you guys in particular made my night a little bit extra difficult deciding to all run the JP Jones scheme. Was that originally your plan, JP Jones's plan? How did we plan on getting to that?
Yeah, so as a team, SMR historically, we've tried to run a variation of the same scheme at super speedways to make it easier to find each other. Usually it's pink, black, and yellow, our team colors, but you know, in another league that we race in, Chillbilly's not only JP's sponsor, but they're a league sponsor. Appalachian Chillbilly's come on, you know, in a big way to help that league. JP's main sponsor. And so we wanted to show them that we appreciate their help, you know, with everything that he does for our team and for the other league that we're in. And we figured, hey, you know, everybody says green cars are bad luck. Well, let's really figure that out. Let's put the whole team in green and see what happens.
Pretty dang cool to see all four of you guys ripping the top lane, bumper to bumper there. And ultimately, I mean, there were cracks in the tail end, but you coming up on top there for SMR. Anyone you want to thank here for getting this win?
Yeah, my teammates, Garrett, Colton, JP, the guys over at Blue Ridge, they're, you know, de facto teammates, AMA de facto teammates. We all work together through the week. My sponsors, you know, starting with Chillbilly, obviously, Spartan Sim Racing Graphics, SMR Shop, Teamstore.com, Fallen Creek Camp, Hands-On Children Museum, you know the works. I've got too many to list. DJ and Eric for giving us a place to race every week. I know races like this might be stressful for them, but you know, they give us a place to race and a place to hang out and talk, and you know, we just appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, and you for broadcasting. I know it's probably not easy, especially when we got 4 cars in the field that look the same, but we appreciate the work that you do too.
For what it's worth, it looked really, really cool. Phenomenal drive for you, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that'll be all she wrote for week number 4 here at Talladega. Back next week as we work our way east for the Brickyard as Wednesday Night Dash heads to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 250 laps or 250 miles at the Brickyard. We hope to see you there, but we're going to wrap it up here on this Wednesday night. We thank you so much for watching this Stadium Scene TV production, and for everybody here at FR Racing Esports and Stadium Scene TV, my name is Jackson Lambros, thanking you so much for watching as always, and we'll see you next Wednesday when at WND returns.